the switch room, which was just as good as my first one, and that was after I came out of the Navy. And I just one day there was a click, you know.
It's called electricity.
Well, I don't know, I think it's more like magnetism.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
because we were two people who were not in. We weren't like that. We weren't. She wouldn't ever go out with a married man.
No.
And I got on well with the ladies there, but there was never any thought of shoving off.
It just
suddenly
happened, didn't it? Yeah.
I look back on it and I think, why did it happen?
Because things like that happen in life. It's just part of life.
Yeah, it's incredible, really. But, yes, so I was quite an important little guy, a young engineer, and did all sorts of things for them. But I was invited to the lunch, and I said, I'm not going to lunch with 70 ladies. And the chief, sitting next to the chief supervisor, no. They used to call her, what was it, Gypsy Rose Lee, her name was Lee. They used to call her Gypsy Rose Lee. She had her desk slightly elevated in the switch room to look after her ladies, you know, all around on the switchboard. And one of them said to me one day, "Look out, she's on her feet. She's going to pull her corset down." She stood up like that, and she'd also go like this. I'd never noticed it before. But it's, one of the operators said, "Oh, well, there she is."
Can I ask, did you ever meet Uncle John? Mum's brother who died in the war?
No, I didn't.
Oh no, because maybe when.
I regret very much I didn't, because I have a book that I think belonged to him.
Wow.
Yeah, that's it. It's I used it. It's probably got my name written in it now. Oh, this is you.
What?
This is something to do.
What have I put there?
No, I don't know. It says Mac.
Oh yeah, Bernice Maxwell Hill, Apollo Seagulls over Sorrento.
I know who that was. That's somebody I was at evening classes with. We were studying German.
Oh wow.
And I think your Uncle John was probably studying German before he went into the army.
Yes. Yeah.
And of course they sent him out to Japan.
Yeah.
Well, Singapore.
Oh right.
Singapore.
Mm.
Oh right. Same as Kathy's husband. Ivor was in Singapore.
His memorial is in Singapore.
Ah.
Oh, did he get taken prisoner of war when the?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a whole
on the
big.
Burma Railway.
Oh.
Do you remember George Wilkinson?
I've heard the name.
He was a secretary to the London Brick Company. He was company secretary when he came out. He was a strange fellow, and he used to come to visit us. And every time he came, he'd forget his tobacco pouch and his pipe. And I collected them all up one day and gave them to him in one lot. And he went off on he had one of these motorised boat. It wasn't like a motorcycle, but it was
Scooter.
It wasn't a scooter even. It was like a big
Buggy.
heavy bike.
Yeah.
But it had a motor.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh wow. And
I think this book actually belonged to Uncle John.
oh, amazing.
Your Uncle John. Because it's the only reason I could find that it no name in it. Somebody had been in it studying, because there was marked with indelible pencil.
Fantastic. All those years. So Uncle John's ship, what was that? Because he died on.
Oh, it's a Maru something or other.
Because there's a film about it, isn't there, as well?
There is a film, and people have written about the Maru. But what happened was, when we started to beat the Japanese, what they did is to offload their prisoners into ships, take them back to Japan, because they were virtually slaves.
Yeah.
And the Americans, of course, our Yankee friends, they saw these ships heading for Japan, cargo ships, so they bombed them. And most of the Beds and Herts regiment went down in those prison ships. So now George was another man that worked with your Uncle John on the Burma Railway thing, and he'd survived it, but he wouldn't talk about it.
No, there's a lot of people that didn't talk about their experiences in the wars.
No, he wouldn't,
That's
and he
awesome, really.
wouldn't stay in a room where there was anybody else. He had to have his own room, and which was, I mean, it's not unusual, but in those days we tended to share rooms. And
Yeah.
like you were saying about sleeping all together.
Yeah.
There's no way that he would do anything like
No.
that. So whether he was scarred by his experience, maybe scarred in his body.
Yeah.
But don't know.
Who knows
But
the
he
reasons?
was a very quiet man, very religious.
Yeah.
George Wilkinson, I think his name is. Wilkinson, could be Williamson, but I think it was Wilkinson.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know about that either.
He was company secretary for the London Brick Company. I went up to stay at his house once. Well, it wasn't his house, it was his mother's house. I think it was just his mother's house. I think she was probably a widow. And that had no lighting or anything. We used to take the oil lamp up to bed.
I was just saying about Aunt Martha and Mabel's house having no electricity in when we stayed there as kids.
That was Woburn. It was Woburn and Woburn Sands. Now I can't remember. We used to get out the railway station at Woburn, and then we had to walk, because there's Woburn and Woburn Sands, and they were probably I don't know, 2 or 3 miles apart.
Do you think Mum went there when we were kids? Because I seem to remember going somewhere like that.
You could have done, yes.
I kind of recall that when you were talking just then. The other thing, do you know much? Can you tell us a little bit about Uncle Peter? Because I will tell Francis. Do you meet Uncle Peter a lot?
Yes, I saw him quite frequently. In fact, he was a waiter that served. I'll tell you, we deliberately went to the Lions' Corner House in
Holborn.
No.
Oh.
No, it's in just off Leicester Square.
Shaftesbury Avenue.
Or something street. It's just off Leicester Square.
Yeah.
Coventry Street.
No, off Leicester Square.
Coventry Street. It's
Yeah.
Coventry Street.
Right.
Yeah, Coventry Street is off Leicester Square.
Right.
Yeah, and so it was that was the one, and he was in the downstairs place, which was called the Brazier, I think. Brazier.
Yeah.
Always made me laugh. Wonder what was on the menu. but yes, and it was one of these places where you had somebody playing the violin
Oh, wow.
and all that sort of going around. And anyway, we went there. He didn't actually serve us at the table. He was there to do their own area, and we were lucky. We sat down there, but he was around. He used to get back very late at night from his work, very late, because and the corner house was open until at least 12 at night or something like that. So it was late before he got home, and this is why in the winter, if Pauline came to see us, then I'd have to walk her right over the hill. Was it Fern Park Road or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
Fern Park Hill or something. Go over the hill and down into Hornsey, the other side, where they lived, just on the edge of where Alexander Palace is.
What, Crouch End area?
The
Crouch End.
Crouch End,
Crouch End.
around that area.
Yeah, well, it was really Hornsey,
Yeah.
where the clock tower is. And
Yeah, that's Crouch End area because there's Hornsey Town Hall there as well.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where Lynn and Ping lived at one point.
Oh, did they?
Around that
Oh,
area,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. I used to cross the road and go walking towards Alexander
God,
Palace.
that's a long way you had to walk her.
It was. Well, there was no bus.
Yeah, yeah.
No bus went that way.
Wow.
Up over the hill and down the other side.
Yeah.
I used to get a cup of tea from the trouble and then I'd walk back. Yeah. Even she might have had Francesca with her at times. I can't see why she wouldn't have.
Yeah.
And I when I was walking back, she'd be putting Francesca to her bed, you know. But it
Oh.
was in the winter and it was foggy. We used to get a lot of fogs there, didn't we?
Did Francesca have special needs in those days?
I think she did.
Mm.
We never discussed it or anything like that.
She had a
But I
speech
think
impediment, didn't she? But
Yes.
I wondered
But
if she
I
had
didn't
special
regard
needs.
her as having
No.
any problems
No.
apart from perhaps a bit of a lisp or whatever, you know.
That's interesting, that.
But Pauline suffered from terrible migraines.
Did she?
Yeah, she used to take Agotamin. I don't know how I could dig that out from the past. Agotamin.
Gottman.
Yeah, it's a product of you know, the fungus that grows on wheat and
Oh, ergot.
yes, ergot.
Okay, yeah, right,
Oh, what
okay.
they derived LSD from?
Yeah, they did.
Is it really?
Yeah, because it's a hallucin. Because they use that for migraine nowadays. They use a kind of it's called tri something or other,
Oh,
and it's a
right.
hallucinogenic. So it must be from the same source.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Agotamin.
Oh, so she had migraines, and
She used to have bad migraines.
well, she was a land army lady, wasn't she, as well?
She was.
Didn't she go into the land army at one point?
She was a land girl.
Yeah,
So I mean, so was your
Mum was, and Auntie Mary.
Aunt Mary,
Yeah,
Gloria.
yeah, Auntie
Friend.
Gloria.
We used to get them down at the house. Yeah, Gloria lived up.
Hertford, so
Yes,
didn't she?
yeah. Where the radio beacons were, the radio aerials were. I can't remember now. It's just north of
Hatfield,
Bar-
near Hatfield.
Barnet. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, that's where I got my dog from. It was her husband that gave me the Labrador.
What
Pup.
was his name? Charlie. Because I remember
Charlie.
once saying to Auntie Gloria, I was looking at her petticoat and her petticoat was showing. I said, Charlie's dead. And she went as white as a sheet. I meant her petticoat showing. She thought I meant Charlie. Her husband was dead. Oh dear, things like that used to happen. Yeah, so I did drop a few clangers in my time, Dad.
Oh, haven't we all?
We've got to go now, so it's been wonderful.
Get worried about the time. That's
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
Yeah, and we've got to go and book in now to our campsite. But I want to say, Dad, for me here,
I hope
And-
you don't have any trouble finding this place because it's.
No, I've checked it out on the map.
Did you?
yeah, his old school map.
Good.
That's why I chose Sixpenny Handley
Yes.
when I saw that, because I used to drive from on the Salisbury to Blandford Road,
Right.
and I
Yeah.
always used to see the sign Sixpenny Handley and think, oh, what a fantastic name.
Yeah. It's a lovely old village. It's on a bend like that.
Yeah.
I don't know where. I used to go up
Cranberry
there,
Chase.
and there should be a signpost taking to a golf course up there, and we used to carry out exercises, the Dorset Search and Rescue,
All right.
which my Robert belonged to, and they used to have exercises there, hide a few people, then try and find them.
Oh, right. Run-outs we used to call them when
Yeah.
we were scouts.
Yeah, we used to play run-outs, but in the dustbins in Islington. Anyway, darling,
There's a
I'm
song.
going to put the video down, and I want to thank you for allowing us to video. And
Gosh, have you got all that on video?
yeah, thank you.
Well, I might get an offer then.
Yeah, you might.
Oh, as long as my name's at the bottom there.
Yes. How do you like to be called?
Well, when I wanted to be recognised but not known, it would be Frank Hardy.
Ah. So is that what you want to be called, or do you want to be?
When I was a young boy, and I used to play around with my cousins and that around Holloway Road, you know, they thought I belonged to the Hardy family because that was my mother's name.
And that was when your mother had 10 children on one side, or 11 children?
No,
12.
She didn't have the children. That was
Oh,
my
not-
grandmother.
Grandmother,
Yeah.
meant. Yeah.
Because my grandmother, all my cousins and that, most of them were Hardys. So I was just another Hardy.
Right.
And they used to call me Lenny Hardy, which I hated Lenny.
Excellent.
Lenny, yeah.
And contrary to belief, was any of your cousins or your mum, your grandmother's children train drivers or connected with the railway?
Yes.
Right.
My uncle Stan,
Right.
he was married to my aunt Nell, who probably was either Helen or Ellen, I think.
So what was that? Stan Knott?
No. he's-
Stan Hardy?
No. None of those.
Thinking of Laurel Hardy then.
He was married. He was Stan Rush, R-U-S-H,
Okay.
and he was married to my aunt Nell, who was my dad's sister,
Right.
slightly younger than.
And did they all live in the East End?
No.
Where did
No.
they live?
Oh, everybody that I've been talking about, Holloway, you know, my uncle Stan and Aunt Nell lived in Holloway.
Right.
Two or three places they lived in, but my aunt Nell only died about 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
she wouldn't talk to me. I don't know what I'd done wrong, but whatever it was, she never talked. I'd send her Christmas cards and that sort of thing. She never responded. Never. I knew where she lived, of course. I think I might have sent her a birthday card.
So she lived in Holloway,
Oh yeah.
right? Because that's where you lived at. No, Grandad and Nan lived at one point. They lived in Holloway, didn't they?
I spent most of my grown up
Of course you did, yeah.
time in Holloway.
Of course you did.
Yeah. My great grandfather came from round of Nag's Head. There was some little street in the back there, and he was a handsome cab driver, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk more about your relationship because it's something we never had a chance to talk about ever, and they sound very interesting.
Well, we never had any chance to talk much at all.
No, that's true.
I mean, you couldn't touch on these subjects when Jean was here. I mean,
No, it wouldn't be fair
It
anyway.
wouldn't have been fair to her.
Yeah.
It wouldn't.
No.
It wouldn't have been very.
No,
um,
and to be quite honest, I wouldn't have done that anyway.
No, I can be completely outspoken. Now,
Yeah.
and I don't think if she knew about it, she wouldn't care now.
No.
Um,
Thank you, Dad. You've done marvellous.
Well, I've enjoyed your company, you know,
Fantastic.
and come again.
We will.
All right?
I'll bring the grandchildren. You haven't seen them yet, the boys. Yeah, I'll get Alex to drive us. That would be a motivation. Okay, and then you get to see the boys.
You want a sort of long, oh dear.
Well,
I'll
there's a
put
good,
down.
there's a point to